What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews. We've got 10 bets on this NFL slate. If that sounds interesting, let's go.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice and the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.
The squad is back. I've got James, I've got Jason. Follow James on Twitter. Follow Jason on YouTube. Dropping bangers on the MLB. Lads, I've given us a very short time frame to make this happen. It's all business today, and I'm going to do my absolute best to keep us on the right path. Probably won't, but we do our damn best. How you guys feeling?
Good. Man. Feeling good for this week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm excited. I had a good Thursday night game. I swept the board. I got lucky, but I'll take it. Swept the board on Thursday. Looking to do some more damage this Sunday. Going to be sharing two different things with you guys. One is just this Bet365 so we can see what the lines are, talk about some of the game outcomes, and the other will obviously be Props Madness. The best tool if you like betting on player props, go ahead and check out Props Madness. You can use the code DAFT and you get a discount. Heavily used on NFL right now, and it's going to be absolutely pounded into the core of the earth when the NBA comes around. So go ahead and check that out. Links to everything that you need is in the video description, but Jason, we'll hand it over to you first. Let's talk about some spreads. Let's talk about some outcomes. What's got you excited here?
So jumping to Minnesota and Cincy. So we know Joe Burrow's out for the next 3 months. We got Jake Browning in there who I don't know how he won that Jags game through 3 picks. It was gifted to him. But they're traveling to Minnesota to play the Vikings where J.J. McCarthy's going to be out. But much stronger backup quarterback in Carson Wentz. So this is one that I just don't think the Bengals are going to be able to contain this Minnesota offense. Jordan Mason's going to be starting. Aaron Jones is going to be out. I think he runs wild. So I do lean his rushing props. But for me, it's going to be Minnesota minus 2.5. ESPN bet is the best line on that game. So that's probably my my lock of the day there.
Oh, lock of the day.
It's a lock, you know. I just don't trust this Bengals D. You know, I don't think Jake Browning's going to be that guy that's going to score 30, 32 points in this game. And I don't think they're going to be able to stop Minnesota.
All right, cool. James, do you have any looks in this game?
Not in this game in particular. I like the read overall. Jake Browning obviously had a tough showing in the second half last week. So, yeah, I'm on board. Nothing in this game for me, though.
I've bet on this handsome fella. Oh, shit, I said it wasn't going to do that, but I can't help it. I bet on Chase Brown and his receiving yards. I got this at 13.5 at minus 110. One thing that is consistent is how these Vikings play defense. A whole lot of blitzing. No Burrow, and I think that actually helps this play. So, given the 3 picks last week, he probably goes a bit of a safer route. So some dump off, some screens. I think Chase Brown, he can catch this motherfucker. With Browning, he's got a pretty good record in terms of like the yards that he can make. It's usually over 20. So to see this at 13.5, I was quite surprised. I think there's going to be an appropriate game script here. Jason, your thoughts align. If the Vikings are going to win this game, then the Bengals likely to throw. So I'm on Chase Brown over 13.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, it was just literally Jamar Chase and Jake Browning playing catch last week. So I think Jamar had like 11 receptions. Didn't use Yoshavasser much, didn't use T. Higgins. So I think this Vikings team is going to be bringing a ton of pressure, and I could see a lot of check down to Brown. So
yes. James, we spoke about this guy last night, but about 8 hours ago, right? We spoke a little bit about the potential he could have. It's a risky play, but with such a low line, do you remember what the thought process we had around that was?
Honestly, not really. I can't remember.
Can't remember.
He can get a touchdown too. They really like to use Yoshavash near the goal line.
Right.
That's pretty much the only time you really kind of see him come into play, right? So him to get a touchdown is kind of a weird, sneaky play that can hit.
Yeah, I like sneaky. I like weird too. All right, let's jump into the next one. Let's just keep things moving.
Okay, you want me to go?
Yeah. Colts and Titans. What do you got?
Yeah, Colton. I mean, we've got Danny Dimes is just out here resurrecting his career, looking great in Indy. Taylor starting to roll. So I do like this one. I mean, Cam Ward has been anything but impressive so far. So this is one. Give me the Colts minus 3.5 over on DraftKings. frankly a disrespectful line. I know they're at Tennessee. This Titans team is just straight ass. So I can't get behind them. If you can't score, you can't win games. This Colts team, you can put up some points against them, but I don't think the Colts. I think they're going to make some really long sustained drive. Dime's going to use his legs. Taylor, I mean, too many weapons here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I haven't placed this bet, but it's probably be placed within the next hour. But I am looking at hammering Mr. Taylor, just taking over in the yards.
Yeah, his rushing yards somewhere around like 90. I think he could have a hell of a day. So I could see him. If you play it, I would just go 100 plus on it, right?
Yes.
Just find the value there. I don't really want to take him to get a touchdown. It's like stupid juiced right now, but I do think he has a day. Receiving yards could be an option too.
Yeah. I was thinking of like 100. I was just, the only thing holding me up is like, what numbers do I hit? I'll definitely hit 100. I'm a greedy bastard, so I definitely want to hit higher, but how high is too high? So, but good to know that your thought process on the game script is the same. So, Jonathan Taylor to get some yards. Definitely one thing I'm excited about playing in this one. James, have you got any looks in this game?
I don't. Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. All right, shit. Let's rush on down. What do we got? Next game, Jason, is Steelers.
So we got the Steelers going to New England. This ain't the Bill Belichick New England that you're used to, right? This defense is not good. They're struggling on offense. There's just not a lot I like about this team. Now, Pittsburgh didn't look fantastic last week, but this team's just too good. Comparatively, you got to take the Steelers here. I know they're on the road in New England, and I think there's just a legacy mindset that it's New England and their defense is going to be great. It's not that I trust Aaron Rodgers. I'm not a huge Aaron Rodgers fan, but this line's just simply, it's too low, in my opinion. I would take Pittsburgh on the money line at minus 120. I don't even mind the minus 1.5, but I would just do minus 120 over on FanDuel on the money.
Beautiful. James, do you have anything in this game?
I do. I am on Calvin Austin over 18.5 for his longest reception. Little bit of a niche play here, but I really like the read. So the Patriots defense has been terrible so far. They're allowing the most yards to wide receivers over the first 2 weeks. They gave up the most yards per reception, the third highest completion percentage allowed, and they also have given up the highest rate of explosive plays through the pass. So that's obviously important with a longest reception prop. They gave up 362 yards to Geno and 315 yards to Tua. Both of those guys haven't looked great in other matchups. So I think, the Pats defense is not all that. And as far as some of the receivers who have gone against the Patriots, Tyreek Hill had a 47-yard reception. Jalen Waddle had a 23-yard reception. Jacoby Myers, 24. Trey Tucker, 28. Dante Thornton, 36. So a ton of people have been crushing this line. One piece that's important to this game is that Christian Gonzalez is likely going to be coming back. He's the Patriots' best cornerback, but he has traditionally been a shadow coverage corner, and I expect him to be on DK Metcalf for most of the game. So this Patriots defense is actually pretty good against the run. They're allowing the lowest success rate on the ground to opposing running backs. I think Rodgers has been impressive. I think they're going to need to throw in this game. And Austin has actually been pretty good to this prop. He's over in 10 of his last 15 games, and he's seen a significant boost in his usage. So he's on the field a lot. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to find him down the field. He's gotten a good amount of targets through the first 2 weeks. So I think this is a sneaky play, and I also took his ladder to 60-plus yards for plus 270.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That gets me excited. I had one lean in this game. Same team, I believe. It's this Jonnu Smith character.
Tight end.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Pats, I think they're allowing the 7th most tight end yards. He has given them the business before. He leads the team in receptions, I believe. So it's more of a safer angle, I'd say. And he's got a 90% catch rate, a reliable floor. Like, he's going to be active. 29.5 seemed a little bit low, but the line hasn't moved since I spotted it. Down the last few weeks, but is it a buy low scenario? I just want to run it past you guys. What do you think?
I know he's been a receptions guy. He hasn't gotten very many yards on his receptions, but Arthur Smith, He is the Steelers offensive coordinator. He loved him in Atlanta. I think he brought him over to the Steelers for a reason.
Yeah.
They do have Freiermuth too. So they got multiple tight ends. I don't know. I don't have too much conviction either way on that one.
Yeah. Because it's plus money for 3.5 receptions.
Yeah.
I think it's tight just with Muth there. I don't know. I mean, I think he is a solid receiver. Oh yeah, Pat's been on the Steelers for a minute, so
yeah,
he's a fan favorite there.
They've got like almost an equal share, I guess, on receptions. But yeah, it's an interesting. It caught my attention at the odds and how he's performed in the last few weeks and the matchup. I was like, this makes too much sense. And if it makes too much sense, you probably should not bet it based off what I've seen in the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's just 2 really good tight ends. You don't know which way Rodgers going to go. It's not like before, right, when it's just Freiermuth there. You know the targets were going to come. It's a little harder to figure out now.
So he's got a lot of options, Uncle Rodgers.
He does, yeah.
He's passing yards to be a play, and if I don't overcomplicate things.
I don't love it just because they do run a really balanced pass run game. So it's not something, he's getting a little up there, a little long in the tooth, so to speak. So I don't want to take him to be slinging it too many yards.
Yeah. And his lines for passing are high. Attempts are high. Completions are high. Yeah. They're expecting a lot out of the old fella. So, yeah. I'll probably stay away from it. Who knows? I might do some same game parlay with some alt lines and make them safer. You know what I mean? Bit of negative EV. But I digress. Do you have any other games that you like the look of, Jason?
No games. I would say one interesting prop would be Saquon rushing yards in the Philly Rams game. He's rushed for 200 yards in the last 2 times he's played Los Angeles. Not saying take the 200, but it's like plus 4,000.
I'm hearing take the 200.
But, you go like plus 150, 150 is like plus 7 something. So he could have a pop-off game. I think that's just going to be a ground game.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, so he's absolutely feasted on them. Many changes for the Rams defensively compared to last season.
I mean, I don't think they're as strong. I mean, the defense has been pretty good the first couple of weeks of the season, but I think Saquon's due just to absolutely.
He hasn't been lighting it up, has he? Yeah.
No. Look, he's due. He's due to just.
And if you got Nick Chubb covering the line against them, Pollard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Their line against
Nick Chubb can get like 60 some yards against this team. Saquon can get 100.
Yeah. I like that as well. I'm down for a Saquon ladder. Let me tell you.
I was thinking that. I'm seriously considering it.
Yeah. Whilst we're in this game, I did have a look on Puka. I liked his receiving yards. What did I get?
Starting to get a little juiced.
Yeah, I got it at 80.5. So I don't know how quickly this stuff can move, but 80.5. Philly's pass D hasn't necessarily been the best so far this season. I like the game script here of having Stafford throw the shit out of this ball. I think historically Stafford against the Eagles, he's thrown the ball 35 to 40 times. And I think Puka's still the number one option, despite what's his name? Adams got there. So yeah, I think the game script makes a ton of sense. Philly not playing as stellar as I would have imagined, but I get it. There's probably a bit of a hangover, but they're doing just enough.
Jalen's pass completions is like 17.5. That's real low.
He's got the lowest passing yards line of any quarterback this week, including those backups like
so it's Saquon. Plus, you got to think they put in the there's a big emphasis on making sure the tush push isn't going like they're not jumping off sides, and the ref put in calls the most offside penalties in the NFL. So it might be a sweaty game this week. LA
so
plus 3.5.
They're nerfing the tush push, are they?
They're trying to crack down because they were saying they jumped off sides twice in that KC game. So there's some point of emphasis on making sure they're not doing that.
All right. If only you could bet on Hurts not to score a touchdown.
Not to score a touchdown.
So all signs point to Saquon then. But I like Puka to catch. Now you already pushed me into it. I love Saquon for 200, but I might be conservative and just take it for 150. I do like that play as well. James, have you got any looks in this one?
I don't, but I will say I really like that Puka look. I was looking at his receptions, actually. He's had some really good games against Philly in his career. So yeah, I like that read.
Yeah, he
It's
has.
at what, 6.5 probably.
Yeah, 6.5 minus 130 though.
I think Quinyon Mitchell will probably be on Devontae Adams, who is a pretty tough matchup. So yeah, Puka's going to be the guy this week.
Give me that Puka. All right, James, what other looks have you got on this slate?
Yeah. Let's go to the Cowboys Bears game.
Yes, I love that
He's
game.
been my guy. We've bet on him every week. I'm going back to a play that Jason had in the first week, and it's George Pickens over 22.5 for his longest reception. And then I'm also laddering this one up to 80 plus yards total for George Pickens for plus 230. Yeah, so this game has some real shootout potential. The over-under is at 50.5, which is one of the highest so far this season. But the Bears secondary is in shambles right now. Jalen Johnson, who's their top corner, is out, and then Kyler Gordon, who's their slot corner, is also out. So it's a group of backups to defend CD and Pickens. And there was an interesting quote from the Cowboys head coach earlier today, but he was saying how he expects Dennis Allen, who is the Bears defensive coordinator, to double or maybe even triple CD Lamb. So if that's the case, Pickens, I could see him in for a big day. A few more stats here. He's drawn 3 pass interferences in the first 2 games, which have combined for 79 total yards. So obviously there's opportunities. He's just not connecting yet. And he's been their deep threat. He's averaging 15.8 yards for his average depth of target, which is 15th in the NFL. And Dak has obviously been a great deep ball thrower in his career. But yeah, the Bears have been torched this season. Amon-Ra had a 34-yard catch last week. Jamison Williams had a 64-yarder and a 44-yarder. The Bears have already allowed 7 completions of 20-plus yards this season. So that's bottom 5 in the NFL. This is an eruption spot for George Pickens. I'm going back to him. He's been my guy. So, yeah, I like this look.
I like it. Jason, I know George Pickens owes you a bit of money.
Yeah, I mean, I can see this happening. That you can actually get the over/under at 49.5 right now on ESPN Bet. Right. I don't like either of these defenses. I think Rome Odunze anytime touchdown's good. I think Caleb Williams could run it. DeAndre Swift's probably not. He's just not that guy. He's built like a stick. So they're going to have to use some muscle. But Odunze anytime touchdown, I think is a good look. Javonte Williams anytime touchdown is pretty solid.
Yeah, I had a few messages this morning from some of the subscribers saying, "Hey, I'm seeing a lot of people bet on Odunze receptions. What do you think?" I was like, "Fuck, I haven't looked at it yet." But whilst we're here, what do you guys think? The target share has been crazy for him in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Caleb Williams likes him.
Of course, yeah. I mean, Odunze had a huge week last week. Ben Johnson drew up a lot of plays for him. I like the play. DJ Moore has been a bit of a question mark so far. He's usually much better against zone, and Odunze has been their man beater. And I know that the Cowboys play almost all zone. So I actually looked at DJ Moore a little bit to bounce back. But I like both of them. I mean, it's going to be both teams going back and forth. I think there will be a lot of passing, but a lot of yards in general. I don't mind either Odunze or DJ Moore.
I think it's crazy that you said that. Yeah,
sickly juiced right now, though.
Odunze?
Yeah, it's like minus 130. I think it's the cheapest you can find it.
Yeah, so I think an under could be nice here. I spoke to James about this 8 hours ago, and it's like you just got to find the most popular play on the slate and just bet the under because everyone's going to pound it. The line will move. It will get heavy juice. Go the other way because these motherfuckers are wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if I was to do anything in that, I would probably go Zacchaeus over 2.5 receptions at plus money.
Tell me more about Zacchaeus.
So he's their third look, but he has gotten, I think it's 5, 7, and 5 targets.
Oh yeah.
If we look kind of last 3 games, obviously one of those goes into earlier, but 7 and 5, I think.
Does he typically go long as a third option?
No. He's more like possession guy. It's going to get that 10, 15-yard routes. So that's why I like him to catch 3 balls here.
At plus money.
So, at plus money, yeah. I think they're on to Odunze right from the last game. DJ Moore is obviously a known entity. It should open up opportunities for Zacchaeus.
Yeah, you guys are giving me something to think about. So there's Moore and Zacchaeus. I like them both because I am not touching Odunze, but I'm like, I get where you're coming from. The defense isn't great on either side. The Cowboys have more weapons, so they should control this game, the Bears should be throwing the shit out of this ball, right? And it's got to go to somebody. So
Yep.
I've got to get deep and figure out one of these two. But I do like the looks there for sure. James, you got any other gold for us?
Yeah, I've actually got two more plays. First, we'll go to
Yeah.
Packers versus Browns. I'm going to an under. I know we haven't been playing many unders, but I'm going to take Josh Jacobs under 78.5 rushing yards. So surprisingly, this Browns defense is actually allowing the fewest yards to running backs. They allowed just 2.07 yards per carry, despite playing against Chase Brown of the Bengals and then the Ravens last week. And Chase Brown, Derrick Henry, and Lamar Jackson, all three of them combined, have only ran for 79 yards on this Browns defense. So they have a really good front. Obviously, Myles Garrett's up there, and then they have some other nice depth pieces. But in games with a healthy Jordan Love, Jacobs has hit this line in just 7 of 19 games, which is 37%. He's currently questionable with an ankle injury, so the Packers are favored. I don't know how much they'll feel the need to force Jacobs the ball. I don't know if he'll get 20 plus carries, but even if he does, I think this defense is good enough to contain him. And yeah, in games with Love with less than 20 carries, he has gone under this line in 12 of 15 games. So I think this is a good spot to take the under on Jacobs, even though it'll probably be a run heavy game script. The Packers love to run the ball. I still just think this line is a touch too high.
Yeah, I honestly was looking at the same thing. I got a lot of notes on this motherfucker, and I was thinking the same thing. And then I was thinking, still a run-heavy game. I might have a value play here. I was thinking of taking Josh Jacobs under his rushing yards, but over his attempts.
Yep.
Some negative correlations. Like, he's going to run a lot, but he ain't running far. That's what I was thinking in my mind. Like, 20 carries, but 60 yards is what I was thinking.
I like that. I think Judkins is going to be good. He got moved to running back 1 in front of Ford. So
right.
I think he's going to put up some numbers.
Do you think they run a lot, even if they're chasing points?
No, I don't think this week's the week you like go nuts on him against that Green Bay defensive front that nobody's really been able to run on.
Yeah.
Someone to keep in mind maybe for the following week. But I actually like the under in this game. I think it's going to be a lot of stalled drives, and Jacobs is going to be ineffective. You lost Reed for the Packers, so Golden's going to have to step up and kind of take on some more. But
with Reed out, who was it that we said likely steps up? Dontavion Wicks, is that right, James?
Yeah, Wicks was playing more last week. He stepped in when Reed got injured. But like we mentioned in last week's video, it's pretty tough to figure out which one of these guys is going to have a good game. With Reed out, it makes it a little bit simpler, but still a little bit.
You're really just gambling, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to be him or Golden. It's going to see an uptick in usage.
Yeah.
What about David Njoku? This guy owes me money.
Owes me too, man.
He's solid. I think he's a solid option for receptions, but
I took his over in yards. I got it at 34.5. We know that Packers, they're not going to let much happen on the ground. So the Browns got to throw 37 and 40 in the last 2 games, and I would say he was a bit underwhelming. I think he's better than that. I think the game script says that they throw. And I just took it because I felt the line was low. We'll get crazy CLV, but that means nothing with player props right now. So, yeah, just sharing that I'm on Njoku. He owes us. And I'm not going to say I'm going to keep pounding him until he pays me, but I am for this week. Give me my money.
I'll throw in there that the Packers have kind of gotten smoked by Ertz and Laporta the past 2 weeks. So if there was a weakness of this defense, it would be against tight ends. I do also like Harold Fannin, who is the other Browns tight end who's been seeing a good amount of usage. So he's a rookie, new guy, but he's been pretty solid. So I like that look as well.
It's like the Browns really just hammered these tight ends, though, by the looks of things.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got weapons. You got Tillman, Judy, and Njoku, and that fan. I mean, they actually have weapons, but my concern is Flacco has no mobility, and this Packers team is going to bring the heat, and he's going to have to get rid of it quickly. So
if he's getting rid of it quickly, is he most likely going short then?
It's going to favor your slot receivers coming across the middle or your tight ends on shorter routes.
Yeah. Sheesh. Oh, I'm going to dive into that game a little bit more. James, you said you got one more? Absolute
Yeah, I've got
banger.
one last play. It's in Chargers versus Broncos, and I'm going to Lad McConkey over 60.5 yards on DraftKings. But yeah, we were talking about this a little bit before, but it just feels like a little bit too much of an overcorrection. For reference, his line was at 71.5 in week 1 and then 74.5 in week 2. Week 1, he had a good game, 74 yards, 6 catches, 9 targets. Week 2, not as good, and that was on prime time. So I'd imagine everyone saw Keenan Allen, saw Quentin Johnston getting used. And I think this is a bit of an overcorrection, like I said. Advanced metrics like this spot, he's had the highest average separation score on the Chargers, and he's had this connection with Herbert stemming from last year. So he's played 55% of his snaps out of the slot. So Pat Surtain will likely be on Quentin Johnston. So I think a little bit more of like a dink and dunk approach from Herbert, keeping it over the middle, finding Lad. And surprisingly, this Broncos defense is one of the best in the NFL, but they rank 25th in yards per reception allowed to wide receivers. And they just gave up 316 yards to Daniel Jones in week 2. So they might not be as good as we think. And last season, Lad had a pretty good game against them when he was kind of fully acclimated into the offense. He had 87 yards on 6 catches. So I think this line is a bit too low. I'm going to go to Lad after a rough week 2. But yeah, I like that spot for him.
Yeah, I felt the same thing when I saw it. I was like, that's low. When you told me, I was like, 61? His lines have always been over 70 so far this season. One bad game and they drop him 10 yards. Yeah. Overcorrection for sure. I've got one more play, and I think it's the most obvious play. And I think I've approached this angle before and it lost. But being stubborn, I've done it once again. And I'm looking at the Falcons-Panthers, and I'm on Bijan, right? Taking Bijan here, but I took his rushing and receiving yards. 110. Panthers, obviously the worst D in the NFL. Etienne went crazy on them. I bet on Connor the following week for the Cards, and he did nothing. But Benson off the bench did a lot of work. Connor, lazy old fuck, didn't get the snap percentage I thought he would get. But Bijan's a little bit different, right? He's going to be on there 75% of the time. Yeah. He's done so this season, did so all of last season. And I think regardless of how the game script goes, he's going to be busy, right? That dual threat role, consistent rushing volume, pass game work, if the Panthers manage to keep it close. I just like Bijan to get the yards up. So that's one other play that I have.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the guy can do it all. Initially, I was like, rushing yards makes sense. But what if it happens, right?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, he went to Kyle Pitts. He's been going to him a ton. So Drake London really hasn't been getting as much love as he's used to. So
that's
I do like
I've heard Drake London's name this season.
Yeah, really haven't heard a ton of him. But I think Bijan is a huge piece of the puzzle this weekend.
Yeah. Awesome. Jason, do you have any more gold for us? Anything that got your attention?
No, I think that's about it for now. I mean, Texans getting points against the Jaguars is sus as hell. I mean, the Texans have dominated the Jags. It's like just one team that they just beat. It's just a weird line. I mean, I would lean Texas plus the points. Yeah. I think Nick Chubb probably gets it going a little bit this week, actually.
All hell the Chubb.
Yep.
Okay. All right, wonderful. Look, guys, I think we've done a wonderful job here. Actually, I lie. A long video's gone for quite some time. And I'm pretty sure we shared more than 10 looks. But I wanted to thank you both once again. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm sure we've got a lot of bangers out there. If you're watching this and you feel the same, drop us a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. Be sure to check out James on Twitter. I'll be dropping a lot of his NFL plays there. And follow Jason on YouTube and Winning Ticket. More MLB stuff. Jason, you doing NFL stuff as well? I think I might have seen an NFL video from you.
Yeah, so we're walking through each NFL game on Sunday mornings usually.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Be sure to follow the guys. I've got links down below in the video description. As always, gamble responsibly. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.